Let's start by creating a new project. We will call this project What to Do Tonight. This project aims to develop a personal assistant agent capable of faithfully replicating our argumentative reasoning when making decisions about how to spend the evening. We click on the icon Edit Project and then we can see the different possibilities we have in order to develop decision-making policies. We can click on the Help icon and we can see information about the options, the elements and the scenario. An option is a decision to be made, an action to be taken, or a goal to be achieved. An initial scenario is a set of elements that support an option and which are absolutely necessary to enable that option. That means that if any of these elements are removed, the option cannot be achieved or valid. A scenario element is a piece of knowledge, or fact, that we know is valid, or true, and must be provided as input by the user. The scenario elements represent the reasons why the supported option should be chosen. That means that by combining scenarios and options, we can build arguments that support the options and we call them decision arguments. Let's start by creating the options for our project. Let's consider that the first option is go to the restaurant. The second option may be stay at home. We will now create a scenario with the first element it's my day off, which we will label as day off. Next, we will add a second element it's a nice weather and label it as nice weather. This is a scenario which could enable both options because when we have a day off and it's a nice weather, we could either stay at home or go to the restaurant. So we will select stay at home and go to the restaurant by associating these two options with the common day off and nice weather scenario. We now have a situation where two competing or conflicting options, or decisions, are possible. In this situation a conflict arises because a decision must be made since both options cannot be considered simultaneously. In other words, we cannot be at home and at the restaurant at the same time. To make this decision, we have a process which is called conflict resolution. With the conflict resolution we build preference arguments. As we can see, RAISON has detected that we have a conflict. By clicking on this scenario, we are able to continue and refine the decision-making process. We can observe that there are three possible ways to make our decision. The first possibility is to select one of the two options without incorporating any additional information. This is called primary choice or default preference. The second possibility is where we need to add context in order to make a choice between the two options. This is called contextual or conditional preference. The third possibility is when we consider that both options are equally good options and we could choose one at random. Let's explore the three possibilities and start with the primary choice. RAISON asks to select which is our preferred option in this initial scenario. Consider that our preferred option is to go to the restaurant. Now RAISON explores overruling the default decision by refining the initial scenario with new elements and iterating between competing options until no further refinement is possible. This allows possible solutions to be explored. Let's answer yes and consider a new element, which is, there is a nice movie on TV, and let's write nice movie on TV. RAISON asks again whether we want to further refine the current scenario with new elements in order to favor the go to the restaurant option. Let's this time answer no by ending the exploration of this solution. At this point, RAISON starts retracing its steps to consider alternative reasons whenever a decision favored one option. It asks whether there are alternative reasons for preferring the stay-at-home option. Let's answer yes, and that reason could be that I feel tired. RAISON now begins to explore this new solution by asking whether we want to add more information in this refined scenario in order to favor the go to the restaurant option. Let's answer no and also end this exploration. RAISON takes another step back by reaching the initial scenario from where the exploration of the different solutions started. We consider that we have no other alternative reason for either option, we answer no, and then we are done with this conflict resolution. By clicking on Decision Policy, we can see the decision policies we have produced. As we can see, when we have the initial scenario day off and nice weather, the preferred option is go to the restaurant. When we take into account the additional information of a nice movie on TV, we prefer to stay at home. The same applies when considering the additional information that I feel tired. We can now go to the menu and click on the Run button. RAISON has generated the code for a system which is developed and deployed almost instantly. We are ready to test the system we have developed. Let's start with the initial scenario day off and nice weather. As we can see, the response of our system is go to the restaurant. If we add now nice movie on TV, we can see that the decision is stay at home. The same holds if we add I feel tired. Let's go back to the editor and then to conflict resolution. We begin a new conflict resolution, this time considering the second possibility, which is add context. It should be noted here that the previous decision policies are deleted because we decided to create new ones with this new conflict resolution. We click on Add Context, and now RAISON begins exploring solutions by asking to decide which option is preferred if we add one or more scenario elements. We call them contextual or conditional preferences. Let's consider that we prefer to go to the restaurant when I have an invitation. So we type 1 have an invitation. Now we click on Stayed at Home and we add a new element, which is nice movie on TV. RAISON asks whether this scenario is a coherent scenario. This means if it is possible to have an invitation and a nice movie on TV, alongside the initial elements day off and nice weather, at the same time. The answer is obviously yes. Again, we have two possibilities: make a primary choice or add context. Let's choose primary choice. We consider that the default preference is to go to the restaurant, and so RAISON wonders if we can add one or more scenario elements in order to favor the stay-at-home option. We say yes, and here we can use an element that we used in the previous conflict resolution, which is I feel tired. Then we have the question whether we want to further refine the current scenario to favor the go to the restaurant option. We answer no and thus stop exploring this solution. RAISON begins to come back and ask if we have other reasons for choosing stay at home, distinct from I feel tired. We don't have any and our answer is no. RAISON takes another step back. Since we have no other reasons to favor either option, we can proceed by clicking Finish because we are done with this new modeling. Let's look again at the decision policy. We see that when we have the initial scenario, we have the two possible options. Then, when we add the element there is a nice movie on TV, we have the decision stay at home, while when we add I have an invitation we have the decision go to the restaurant. Then we can see that in the scenario where we have the initial elements day off, nice weather and the context that we added during the conflict resolution process, namely nice movie on TV and I have an invitation, we have the decision go to the restaurant, while when we add the last element I feel tired we have the decision stay at home. Now we can go back to the menu and click on the Run button. RAISON applies the changes and we have a new system that is developed and deployed. We can start testing again if we can find our produced decision policy. As we can see in the initial scenario, we have the two decisions, go to the restaurant and stay at home. If we add nice movie on TV, RAISON returns the decision stay at home. If we add I have an invitation, we have the decision go to the restaurant, and if we add both, we have still the decision go to the restaurant as expected. If we add now the last element, which is I feel tired, we have the decision stay at home. Let's return to the editor to try another conflict resolution by considering the last possibility, namely that all options or decisions are of equal value. We click on all or equal and then we click on decision policy. We can see that when we have day off and nice weather, we have both decisions. If we run again, we can confirm that when we have day off and nice weather, RAISON returns both decisions. This concludes this video. Thank you for watching.